Hey, greetings all, and welcome to MMO Grind. I'm Malice, and I'm here with my co-host Zaylin. I want to thank y'all for coming out on St. Patrick's Day and giving us a drink. We should all be drinking in our homes because we're not allowed to be out in public.
I was gonna say, you thanked them for coming out on St. Patrick's Day. Where the fuck else are they gonna go today? They can't go
I
outside. All the
know.
bars are closed.
We're all currently bunkered down in our homes in many of the states here in the U.S. at least, and everybody is doing the what do they call that? Social distancing.
Oh wait. I should get over here, Malice. We can, well,
Yes.
a little more distance on the. There we go.
So we are going to use the wonderful art of the internet to spread the word because you all have nothing else better to do but hang out here in our lovely internet.
Should make it a lounge room. That'd be kind of cool.
So now that we're all riding out Plague 2020, that brings us to our starting subject.
Can you call
matter
it?
of tonight?
Can you call it Plague 2020? Because it's kind of advertising your community. Then I don't know that really works.
Why? I think that's perfect.
Totally calling you out there.
It literally makes all of my guild members stay inside and get to gaming. You know. But I mean, that really brings up the matter we want to touch on tonight, which is COVID-19 and you. Now, to be fair, I am not a doctor. I am not going to be discussing any of the details or the medical blah 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 of COVID-19. I'm going to discuss about things that we know and love, which is video games and how video game developers have the perfect opportunity of all stripes to push content. Because if you want to do a half broken stream exclusive right now for $4.99, this is the time to push it. Push it hard. Get it out there because someone will play it. Actually, a lot of people will play it. More people will play it than you could possibly expect because they have nothing else better to do but to play your broken game and be like, wow, that's some broken crap. And then start over and play it again.
It's true. You think about all the news reports of these companies that are sending their people to work from home. If you're working from home, are you really working all the time? No, you're not. You're doing like a little bit of work and you've got a game either running in the background or you're socializing with your group, practicing that social distancing through. Yes, I am. Yeah. Okay. You're working, but then we know who you work for, so that's not fair. Other places.
the whip cracks.
Other places. And there's a lot of employment out there that have furloughed or laid off or just said, hey, just don't come to work. We're still going to pay you. Those are great places to work. But we even had somebody in my community who got furloughed the other day. So they're at home. They're like, well, I guess I have a lot more time to game now. Which is fantastic.
And drink Guinness. I mean, at least for St. Patty's Day. Because it's on sale like crazy cheap.
So did you get pinched today delivering your stuff out and about?
Oh, no, it's my one of my few days off. But yesterday, we pretty much about had 4 times the business on a Monday. And we hadn't even closed the restaurants and bars yet. So about Wednesday, tomorrow, not only are all the bars and restaurants going to be closed, but we're supposed to be hit with a mini blizzard. And yeah, it's going to be crazy. Oh, and the people I work for, they have an internet deal that will make you happy. So we're suffering from that. And yeah, so I'm assuming a Wednesday, which is a pretty dead day, is going to be like Christmas. And I have a feeling it's going to be like Christmas for the next month. So,
you know what you should
be one of the few places to go.
You know what you should do in delivering food and stuff like that? Say, hey, for every delivery, you get a free roll of toilet paper. You guys would get deliveries like crazy.
I want a free roll of toilet paper. I've been to the store 3 days in a row trying to hunt down one freaking packet of freaking toilet paper. By the way, any of you out there hoarding toilet paper, screw you. Screw you.
Come on, we all know what gamers do. They get the extra adult-sized diapers. They just sit down and they just go for 48 hours. It's like, come on, I'm not getting up. I'm not doing my thing. Way too expensive gift. Yet you're not wrong, Bobo. Some of this stuff is ridiculous.
I had a guy walk into a bar I go to, and he put down a gift bag and handed it to the bartender. And said, "I have a gift for you." And he opened it up. It was a half-used roll of toilet paper.
Was it the used half? Or...
No. That'd be real gross. But I mean, I guess you can flip it over and use it again.
This is true. Only used once. Yeah, you can only use it once. The kind of gift that just doesn't resell.
It's not a gift that keeps on giving.
And there's actually a song. It's not about toilet paper, but if you've ever heard of Bob Rivers, he does an album that he calls Twisted Christmas, and he has one of the songs on there is the Butt Cracker Suite. And the first part of that song talks about the thong. It's the kind of gift you can't resell because it kind of smells if someone else has tried it on. It's a hysterical song. I encourage you to go on YouTube, check it out if you haven't. Bob Rivers, Twisted Christmas, the Butt Cracker Suite. It's really funny. What was the movie with Stallone where they used shells instead of toilet paper?
Yep.
Demolition Man. Ow.
Yep.
Oh, man. Everybody's freaking out. It's like, get off the toilet and go stand in the shower.
What are the three shells? What are the three shells? Honestly, as a total promo randomly, go look on Amazon for a bidet. I know it sounds initially weird because we're most of us in this aren't European, but Europeans get along with it just fine. So it's the best way to get around these toilet paper thieves.
Something to be said there.
What, baby wipes? Except if you can find baby wipes.
Baby wipes aren't flushable though, Swipper, and that's a lot of trash. If the trash stops, you're just gonna have stuff piling up. You got to get those flushable wipes. You
can flush baby wipes because you know why? The flushable ones lie to you and aren't flushable anyway.
If you have a septic system. If you're sewer, then it's fine.
If you say so.
You have a horrible shower head. And I've got a shower bidet.
I've got a shower bidet.
I actually saw a meme today that had a toilet and somebody had taken their removable shower head that had the hose and whatnot and just stuck it underneath the seat pointing up. It's like, wow. I don't know that I'd want to use the shower for anything else, but
it's actually kind of what they use in India. So, like, you go into India, and you know those sprayers, like in an industrial sink. Then they have the sprayer to spray stuff off. They have that hanging next to the toilet.
Oh, that'd be nice. There you go.
High-powered sprayer.
Bubba says, I couldn't find TP in the stores the past few days. I bought 10 boxes of cat litter.
I did look at something weird today. I actually bought a box of cat litter. I just kind of went, there's no TP. And I just bought it and walked away.
You know, one of the things I'm kind of in shock that there hasn't been a run on, like, pet food. Because you think about it, everybody's buying stuff for themselves, but they don't really think about their pet. Yeah, your pet can eat scraps if it's a dog. But if it's a cat, I mean, you got to go buy food for the cat because cats are, picky, evil little demons.
Yep. And I specifically did exactly that today. I was like, you know what? I should probably buy a bunch of extra cat food and stuff. So if I get sick, we're covered.
There you go.
Because they will torment me to the ends of the world. No, they are not. Not the ones I know. Your cats are not picky little demons. I mean, mine aren't overly picky, but they are little demons.
You have a month's worth for his cat.
Yep.
Just put cheese on it. Yeah, cheese fixes everything, right? You think about it. We used to have diaper stuff where it was just a piece of cloth that people wrapped around the baby's butt, and then they threw it in the washing machine. A lot of people don't want to do that anymore because, like, I don't want to put shit in my washing machine. Okay, put it in the sink and wash it like you used to do in the old days. Hello, we don't need all this expensive fancy toilet paper. Go to Walmart. I mean,
But
get some of the really crappy stuff. Leaves. You've got trees out the backyard. Unless you're in a blizzard state, then you're kind of screwed.
I will say this as a point of appreciation for modern life. Those were great ideas when you usually had a someone at home that was the stay-at-home parent. But we live in a modern day where we don't have a lot of opportunity for stay-at-home parents anymore, and so those disposable diapers are kind of real important for them. They just don't have the
Services that
time.
can pick them up too.
Yeah, but then that starts getting pricey. It removes the whole point of saving money on reusables for getting rid of the disposables. My son did that, and my granddaughter never used diapers on her. Yeah, they used to just pick her up. She'd start pooping. They just pick her up and stick her under the shower, and then no diapers at all.
It's like we could do it to a baby, but we have a hard time getting in the shower to spray off our own butts after we take a crap. I love the conversation at the beginning of the stream. This is awesome. Only place you can go on a Tuesday night to hear two guys busy yapping about wiping crap off your butt. It's like, come on.
So, as we have been discussing basically this whole entire ridiculousness of us being pretty much told to stay in our homes, stay away from people, and not catch a flu, which, I appreciate. I really don't want to get sick. But on the other hand, this is a perfect opportunity for game developers. If, like, for example, if CSE was really motivated, they would be pushing bunches of beta tests every day right now, because this would be a fantastic time to do it. Because one of the biggest complaints about the CSE beta tests, what? We all got jobs! Now, we don't got jobs no more. We can actually test your product.
There are a lot of companies out there. If you look at Square Enix, all of their stuff, as soon as this hit and it got wind that a lot of people were going to be staying home or in quarantines, and mostly it was that idea of self-quarantining, they like significantly dropped the price on a lot of their games, and they're rushing things to market just to get it out there so that people can play it. If you look at Disney Plus, they Frozen 2, the big movie that's like, oh, all the kids love. My kids love it. It basically plays nonstop here in the house.
Is it on Disney
It was
Plus?
three. Okay. It was 3 months out from going to Disney Plus. They had no plans to put it on there for 3 months. The day that they suggested people to self-quarantining, what Disney do? Bam, put it on Disney Plus. Their subscribership shot through the roof.
All right, so I love you all, but stream's over. I'm going to be
He's going to go watch it. See, and Bobo,
I got Disney Plus for a reason, yo.
And Bobo hit it right off the bat there. I'm playing the Settlers Online, and today they sent everyone a free premium month. I mean, that's genius. You've got people, right. They're a captive audience. What are we going to do as gamers?
Yeah.
We're going to sit here and play all day, every day.
You got nothing else better to do. Clean house. Okay, we're going to put about an hour's worth into that and be like, yeah, I'm bored. Go right back to gaming. So, I mean, because of that, I really think that this is a grand opportunity, especially like here's another game, Phantasy Star Online. They just launched their beta today, which is great, but it's only for their Xbox release. It's like let's get on this PC release. We need to get this PC release out so we can all beta test it and get it live. Yeah, no, my guild really wants to play it, but they're not going to play it until it's for PC. So,
and there's no point in investing in a game on console when you've got the rest of your community that's doing PC.
Right.
And Chris, I'm going to totally just put you on the spot and point you out on this one. We were all playing what was it? I think it was one of the Diablo games, and it was a lot of console, and there was a bunch of us that were actually playing on PC, and he refused to buy it for PC again, which I totally get. Totally valid point. But it's like, dude, all your friends are playing on this thing. come over, but he had already spent the time. He had already put in all the effort. He had already gotten the achievements and everything on the
Well,
console thing. So
that's why if you're at all in any type of gaming community, save your console for single player games.
or watch your porn
Or
on it. I
like
mean,
or or like a Halo shooter or something like that that you know is gonna, even if it does come out on PC, is gonna blow ass anyway.
crossplay. But see, not everything's doing crossplay.
Very, very, very few games actually do crossplay.
Exclusives would be a good thing. I mean,
Yep.
if the Final Fantasy VII game had put out another demo during this time, I mean, the first one was awesome. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. The gameplay was actually really good. I thought it was just short. And I get it's just to get people all itchy to play the game and all that kind of good stuff. But you've got people captive. Either rush it to release because you've got to be done at this point. If you've announced a date, you're pretty much done. Release it early or put out another small demo. It's not going to kill you. Although
Yeah,
it might... Go ahead.
Yeah, in a response to Bobo about game developers working from home, I mean, most game developers are literally working in a cube anyway or in an office. As such, working at home is not that much of a different experience. They can run all the things that they need to do, and it might take longer to push data or something like that to the server because they got to do it over broadband instead of being right there at the server. But yeah, I'm not sure like really what the hang up would be. I mean, honestly, I think one of the greatest things that this is going to do for the gaming industry is push a lot of companies out of the archaic idea that everyone needs to be in a big room developing. I think that more game companies need to use remote assets and let people work remotely. I think that's going to be the big game changer across many industries. This whole entire thing, if we're going to be stuck indoors for 3+ months, we're going to see a massive change in the industry because if we're going to set protocols, put in better security, do all these other things, the people that these companies didn't want to spend money on in the first place, now they're going to have to spend money on to allow a lot of their employees to work remotely and securely. We'll see the end result come out to be that, well, we already got it now. We might as well let people do it.
They might have to go through Linuxification first.
Well, possible. But as long as they Linuxification... then everything will work. What do we got? Actually, what did...
Welcome, Tabletop to Keyboard. Thanks for joining us in the tabletop gaming sphere. For those of you that don't know, Tabletop to Keyboard is all about tabletop gaming and how that has come to the digital forum. They run their stream. Check them out. You can just click on the name there and it takes you to their channel. Awesome bunch of folks. Really fun. Companies are giving away free PDFs for players during the quarantine. Awesome. They get it. They get it. Are video game companies doing the same to get people playing? Some are not.
Yeah, I mean, I think the core right now is that it's development time and people aren't going to push free games. They're going to use this opportunity to make some money, which I have no problem with. I mean, as long as they're not gouging. But because they have such a trapped audience, they're going to just keep pushing that market, and they're going to use Steam and work on pushing all those little games out there. I think that's going to be the market that is most rewarded by this right now. EAs and all that other stuff are like the Leviathan they are.
The best that they can do is
always
offer discounts.
Right. But what they could do is they could push some DLCs because they're always working on some DLC. I mean, come on, it's EA. Are you saying that they don't push half-broken product? I mean, this is like their bread and butter, so it's not like they couldn't just cut corners and get it out there. It wouldn't be any worse than any other releases.
Coming from a project management standpoint of view, though, that is something that as a company you would have to look forward and as a risk assessment. And risk assessment is not just the negative things that happen; it's opportunities. How do you turn a risk into an opportunity? So how do you take something like the beer virus and turn it into a plus for your company? Well, you've got to have that operational plan set up. A lot of these people and gaming companies don't necessarily think that far. They don't think about those things because it's so far outside the scope of what they do. The idea of a international pandemic is like way out there. But if something were to hit and you had a thing in place that, okay, this happens, we can quickly turn this content and go, hey, or that kind of stuff. I can see why a lot of these studios just don't have that. It's not something they would even think about. And to Beogal's point, you don't always have that stuff readily available. And it would basically be an entire shift of what your team is working on if you're on a trajectory working hard this way to say, hey, everybody stop what you're doing. Quickly, let's rush this out so we can get people hooked. That's actually really not smart business because you're altering the overall timeline of what you're trying to get out. And if you're already on a 7-year delay... Sorry, I'm not trying not to pick on CSE, but it was there.
If you, I think the people that can take the most advantage of it are the biggest and the smallest developers. The smallest developers, the 3-man teams that are making mods for whatever and putting out some, the idea of putting out the new concept of the Gary's mod or whatever like that, or the EAs where they could literally force switch resources to push out a piece of content because they have the resources to do that. A company like CSE is too big to be that agile, and it's not a market that is designed to be agile. The MMO market is not. The only thing that you want to do in the MMO space right now is start selling a lot of cool boosts and cool content and things like that. Use your microtransactions and try to put out a lot of stuff because people will buy it because they've got nothing else to do and they're going to bite into that. But EA could literally put out new content, new games, because they always have things in the pipeline. They're always working on things. Yeah. If they just said, okay, you 3 studios, you're stopping your projects, you're dumping into this, and then try to push it maybe in a month or two. But then that's when you talk about from the project management standpoint, is that understanding that, okay, we're still selling you this idea that we're going to be in quarantine for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's not worth it for them to do that. But then it's like, well, are we going to be in quarantine till July? Now all of a sudden it becomes relevant to start doing those pushes because sure, it's going to take you 2 months or something like that to hyper push a product. But I mean, and EA, like I said, is pro at pushing out broken stuff anyway. So it's not like they're going to like somehow be different today because also we have to make sure we have quality.
And I think it's different for companies of different sizes. You have a beast like EA or Square Enix or any of these big companies. You're going to push games to capitalize on the fact that you've got gamers at home and they're going to want to spend just a little bit of money times thousands of people. That's a good chunk of change that you probably wouldn't have gotten. And right. Whether it's microtransactions or a sale price or, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then you've got studios that are still in the building stages like CSE, and you've got Star Citizen, and you've got New World, which hasn't come out. Do an open beta during the quarantine time. You want to talk about stress testing for whatever it is that you're doing? Holy cow, you're going to get a crap ton of people that jump on there. Yep. New World. There has been next to nothing that has come out for that except just little bits here and there. Open it up. Let people in to see a very raw version. You don't have to unlock all the content for them. Get people in. It's a stress test. You get some feedback. You get people buzzing about your game.
Yep.
It's not necessarily a capitalization, but it's still, I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, you're capitalizing the fact that you have a good block of beta testers. Let's stress test those servers.
but
Let's
it's going
get
to
on
come
it.
back to, are you prepared to do that? Do you have a plan in place that's going to allow you to do that effectively, or are you going to trip over yourself to get there, and ultimately it's not going to be good or
Well, I
affect
mean,
things in the long run?
we have seen enough gameplay level in New World, for example, that it is relatively a complete product. I mean, it's not just sitting there doing nothing. It's not, no offense to CSE, a arena experience or something like that. That's all they're using for testing.
But even
It
that's
would.
okay. But if we can get more people in to stress
Oh
test,
yeah. No,
I
I'm
mean,
not saying
Malice,
don't do it.
I mean, if we want to pick on CSE a little bit, you and I jumped in the other night to a 10-man stress test that only 2 people could get onto. Hey, you want to stress test it? Bump it to 5. Bump it to 8, where I can get on with a handful of my people to get on there and do stuff. We're going to play a heck of a lot longer than an hour because
Yep.
there's 8 people and it's like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this with somebody else. Hello, we're here. We're captive an audience.
Yeah, it's a great time to test Ragnarok and get it out there. Yeah, we were running into a problem with Ragnarok. Two people just don't do very well on trying to defend
That was
towers.
rough.
That was really rough. So please
It would have
expand it.
it would be fun with more people, I think. It would have been
Yeah.
a lot of fun with more people. But something that TT2KB said was, does the loss of conventions affects release dates? So I work at a 5-star resort in Colorado, and we put on all these conventions, and we're basically the production that handles all of that kind of stuff. That is a massive, massive loss of business that these people are canceling out.
Yep.
Is that going to prevent a game company from releasing? I don't think so. Because ultimately at a convention, it's more about buzz than it is about making money. So if a convention doesn't happen, you're already in the hole a lot. Why would you delay the release of the game, which is ultimately going to delay profits and piss off your consumer base? I don't see it being a good business sense for them to go, oh, we can't have this big convention to do this big hoorah release, which is already just going to cost them money, when people are going to be home and they can just release it, and there you go. Yeah, there's no big fanfare for it, but I mean, if you've got a lot of people playing it, you're going to have a lot of talk about it, and talk is a better advertiser than a gigantic convention that only a handful of your player base is ever going to be able to attend in the first place.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of the nice things about, you know, actually a very frustrating thing, excuse me, about our summer out here is that we had one of the best lineups for concerts that it's that we've had since I've lived in Minnesota. And I was like, oh my God, I am going to spend so much money going to concerts this summer. And it's just like show after show, cancel.
And now you
There
can
goes
spend all
Rage.
that on games, right?
Right. I mean, there goes Rage Against the Machine. There goes Tool. There goes Kraftwerks. There goes Rammstein. There goes all these other shows I was going to see. It's like, oh, I wanted to go see shows. But, now I got lots more money for video games. So that's my thing is I think the people that can push out the most content are the little people who are doing little games that would go on Steam for like, $4.99 or whatever like that, because people will buy them just to try them for an hour and put them down if they don't like them. I mean,
It creates a lot of conversation. I mean,
mm-hmm.
if you look at Star Citizen, now would be a perfect time for them to go, hey, this is a mechanic we're thinking of doing, and just plop it out there, whether they're ready for it or not. People are going to play it, and they're going to start to talk about it because they have the time. CSE, get another character out there, get some stuff that we can physically get into and do something with. The amount of feedback that you're going to get because people actually have the time. Oh yeah, we're just
I'm like,
I talk with my hands. All right, come on, give me a break. Jeez, if I could smack you, I would.
She gotta use the shaka.
So there's a question. Bobo hit a question, and this is more of a question I think for the audience. For those of you that have kids, do you find that you actually have less time to play now that your kids are stuck at home with you, or do you find it's let's put Frozen 2 on the TVs so that daddy and mommy can go downstairs and turn on their game and have some peace and quiet? Granted, we're cursing and swearing and yelling at the stream and got a bajillion people in our ear for Discord, but it's peace and quiet nonetheless because it's not a kid screaming at us. Luckily, my 4-year-old's daycare is still open. How is that possible? Is he like the only one at the daycare? He or she? How can you look at Star Citizen? There's nothing to look at. Skippy, you need to go look at Star Citizen because it is a very playable thing right now.
Yeah.
It's not complete, but it is a very playable thing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I mean...
Okay, since he's autistic, it depends on how he feels and what he is doing. So do you find Bobo...
And this is because Bobo fails at owning a tranquilizer gun, because that is how to set your schedule at all times.
This is why Malice has just never had kids.
And this is why it's good that Malice never had kids. I would have lost that kid to some social services long ago, because it just been like, Took.
Whoa, my kids are all adults and playing games. My son is 3 years old and he's always home. So Swiper, do you... Oh, 3 months. Never mind, my question will not apply. Mine is in bed right now with my phone watching Thomas the Train videos. My son would love to be in bed watching Thomas the Tank Engine videos.
So why isn't he, Zaylin? Do you hate your child?
Yeah, we're trying to just not do a lot of screen time with them, so at least not until they're older. So
You're
I get enough
up.
I get enough screen time myself, and I'm friends with people like you, and I don't want that kind of life for him. So
Yep.
Skyrim Thomas the Train mod. Narth, you always find the most unique things that I have to now go look up. I'm gonna write this down.
Oh yeah, no. So they take the dragons and they replace them with Thomas the Train, and it flies around and goes woo woo as they fly. It's pretty funny. It's much like the Macho Man Randy Savage mod.
I mean, I play Transport Fever too, and my son loves to just sit here on my lap and just watch the trains go back and forth. Doesn't care about the planes, doesn't care about the trucks. He just wants to watch the train go back and forth. And it could be the same scenery for an hour, and he's just like totally into it.
Wow, you how old's your kid Beogo? Because yeah, that's some dark stuff. He said that his son is in bed reading Warhammer 40K books. The dark future of the darkest future you can come up with. 9. Whew, he's gonna be a serial killer.
I have a buddy that I worked with, and we've been talking a lot about defense and stuff. So if we're all like quarantined at home and everything just goes to shit in the world and people start doing runs on houses to try to steal stuff and whatnot, he's got 6-7 boys and his 5-year-old. They were all having an argument one night, and he said to all his kids, I'm just going to lock you in the room and you can all just kill each other. The 5-year-old stands up without missing a beat and goes, I'd win. Just boom. Just, I'd win. I looked at my buddy and was like, man, if you guys ever get a run on your house, you just put the kids on the front line and give them all guns, you guys are totally fine.
Yeah,
I'd win.
We've already been running into the problem at work where people are bored, and so they're bold enough to start attacking our drivers.
Why would you attack a driver? What possible good reason would that be? It's not like you're carrying toilet paper.
Just like gold, apparently. No, like, and they didn't even rob him. They like knocked the pizza out of his hand, stole his hat, and knocked him to the ground and started kicking the crap out of him. and he got up and started beating their asses, and they ran.
This is why Malice carries a taser now.
Yes,
Legit.
taser. Yes, that's it. Ohio Legit has a bunch of those post-apocalyptic style army vehicles rolling through at the moment. Fun times. Nice.
Bobo. This is a hold up. Give me all your money or I sneeze.
I wield the greatest weapon ever.
I've got corona.
Oh my god, you don't steal a dude's hat. That's
Or knock a pizza. I mean, come on. How long before the
well,
U.S. activates its agent network?
for Division 2 for those that haven't played.
Or just got a
Division 1,
ton of
right?
ads from that is a thing. I mean, a lot of us are used to ordering food when we're gaming and just having it delivered because we're all lazy sods and we don't want to go out and do it because then we're away from the game. Is it safe? Malice, you can actually speak to this at a professional level.
I mean, unless you're planning on robbing us, then that won't be safe for you. But yeah, no, we have, at least where I'm at, we have a ton of protocols now. I wear gloves every day. We use hand sanitizer between every delivery. We're supposed to get spray sanitizer that we can sanitize the bags and stuff like that. Domino's is actually currently offering contactless service. So we will literally set up everything in front of your door and then call you 10 feet away so that you can come grab your food. And then we'll grab the heater bag after you're done.
Our fire department here in Colorado is doing that. If you call in with a non-cardiac emergency, they will actually drive up to your house, call you on your phone to talk you through some stuff and just to see whether or not you actually have corona or symptoms of it. And then they send people in full hazmat gear to go help you. It's really hysterical.
Just as a weird, stupid,
we love weird and stupid. Come on,
you could just take this as a malicism and don't get too stressed about it. But it's COVID-19. Coronavirus is the class of virus that it is. COVID-19 is the type of virus that it is, because coronavirus, it includes like SARS and MERS and like a bunch of other shit. Just to put that out there, just in case you want to have a little bit of education today.
But you know how stupid people are? I was at Costco the other day and pretty much, walking through and seeing the massive amounts of empty shelves. You know the one area of the beer section that was not empty? Corona. I shit you not.
Yeah, no, that's why I've actually been drinking Corona lately, because they're on super sale, because they're trying to make any money because their stocks keep going.
The apartment I used to live at, someone was ordering delivery and then jumping and robbing the drivers at gunpoint. That's just messed up. These people are trying to do you a service, and they're trying to make ends meet at the same time. It's like, come on, have some decency.
Yeah, and you're robbing the poorest of the poor, man. Like, you're robbing delivery drivers. These dudes are not rolling high-skilled jobs here, people. They're not like, woo, glad I'm making $100K a year. No, why are you robbing some dude who's like working a part-time gig?
Hey, Bogal, it's a good beer if you mix it with cream cheese and some cheddar and like a little packet of ranch. It makes an awesome beer cheese dip. Just throwing that out there.
See, I actually really enjoy Corona, but Corona is very specifically for me is a summer drinking beer. It does not really excite me all that much in the winter.
Why? What's the difference?
It has a very specific flavor, and that flavor is enhanced by the dash of salt, the lime, and all that other stuff, and it makes it a very refreshing beer.
Cress actually agrees with you. Hello, people. Hell has frozen. These two agree on something.
I mean, him and I tend to fight just for the fun of fighting, but
Corona Beer
Yeah,
needs to make a parody of that catchy Vietnamese coronavirus song, but about beer. Refreshing.
I'm gonna throw a quarantine party, one roll of TP and a case of Corona to get in.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. But a case of Corona, really? Could think of so many better beers.
No, but it's appropriate for the event.
So what else can these gaming companies and whatnot be doing during, or is it affecting them? And I guess if we had somebody from CSE that could speak to this, is it more difficult to work from home given that you're just sitting at your computer coding and doing that kind of stuff? Is it easier to work from home? Do you find yourself getting more done? Is it more productive for the studio? I mean, I've got lots of questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I think that question is tainted with do you have kids or not? Because if you don't have kids,
Skippy, he said taint.
Um,
It's his favorite word.
I totally found that working from home was much more fun. I got a lot more done. I could get.
But you're a single dude.
I could focus. Right, that's what I said. I don't have kids, all that type of stuff. But if you have kids, well, I think that really flips script. It's very hard to get a lot of things done because kids don't know when to get the hell out the office. So,
I mean, that's why I have a lock on my door if I have to work from home. So just, of course, you can hear them pounding the ceiling above me sometimes on the stream. But
so Havoc, was there something you wanted to tell the studio audience?
It's different. I get more done, but I miss out on conversations. So I guess it depends on the type of work that you're pounding forward to try and do.
Yeah, see, I loved the quietness of my office to like be on the phone and talk to clients and do all that type of stuff. It was really good. But I also was like the trainer at work, so like everyone was showing up at my desk all the time. How do you do this? How do you do that? So like it was much quieter once I was home. At least they had to message me, and I could ignore them for a couple minutes until I finished what I was doing.
Everybody seems to be more distracted at home, but you don't have to deal with commuting or distractions from coworkers. So I know that there was a study put out a long time ago that actually said if you give an employee a laptop while at work, something that they can take home with them, they ultimately get more done than they would in a normal 40-hour work week as if they did not have a laptop. And that study went further to look at people working from home, and the overall consensus, as Malice's cat is about to destroy him,
I'm now getting a belly massage. Thanks, cat.
I wish I had taken the time to find the study before we went on the air, but you do actually get more done working from home overall. Maybe not on a day-to-day thing, but overall you're going to get more done because you will work beyond what your normal hours are going to be because you can and because it's right there.
Yeah, I mean, especially when it's amazing what you store away in your brain as filler activities. Like you're like, here's what my job is, but there's a lot of filler activities. And when you can take that laptop home, you tend to do those filler activities so that you can focus on your job when you actually go to work.
Wow, Nightbot's alive. I thought I had finally killed it.
Malice has a star.
Think
star
cat.
star. Ooh, that's a lot of stars for the word pussy.
Narth, you do a lot of coding. Do you prefer to be working in an office with that kind of thing, or do you enjoy working from home? When you don't have to commute 15 minutes to 2 hours, or 1.5 to 2 hours a day, I can read, I promise. It's easy to fill in some extra work. It's true. I mean, for me, I've got about a 45 minute drive one way, so it's, yes, very nice mustache you got there. So, a 13-day instantly turns into 15 now. If I was at home doing that, would I add those 2 extra hours on? It depends. I prefer
Yeah,
pod, a room with few programmers working on the same product.
yeah. If I'm stuck in a at home too working, I feel less even like non-corona, not COVID-19 lockdown quarantine land. Um, I still don't feel as comfortable leaving to go to lunch. Whereas when you're at work, you leave to go to lunch because I want to get the hell out of work. But I'm already at home. I'm at the most comfortable place I can be. So like leaving seems kind of silly when I can just walk into the kitchen and make myself a sandwich, And so then, not as Bagel was saying, like, yeah, so now I can eat a sandwich. And now I'm like, well, I'm just eating a sandwich, so I can still, while you're at lunch, and you're just like, you're not as concerned about like focus, but you're still getting work done. You still probably took your hour lunch and turned it into a half hour worth of productivity. Yeah. So like that working from home in a lot of ways like that has a big impact, and you cannot, belittle the idea of not having to commute, rolling out of bed to sit behind your computer to just bang away some freaking work or sit on the phone with a client or do whatever you need to do. Like, whatever your job is, if you can do it remotely, holy crap, that is such a wonderful experience. Even if you have to like totally dress up because you're going to sit on a webcam all day or something like that, got to dye your hair and wear a green shirt or something like that, for St. Patty's Day. You still have hella time compared to even a 30-minute commute, which is a pretty comfortable standard commute. Most people are pretty comfortable with a 30-minute commute.
I,
That's huge amounts of productivity.
I love what Crest just said. One thing I had to do when I worked from home was I had to make it a different location from my gaming PC.
Yes.
100% agree.
I
We are
would
all addicts at
actually,
heart.
I would put my work laptop in right where I'm at here, and I would pull the cables out of my PC to put the monitors into my laptop so that I couldn't play on the PC. I would sometimes keep one screen for the PC just because then I could run some farming program or something like that and not have to worry about it. But multitasking, man, multitasking. Use your time efficiently.
But does working from home ultimately benefit a gaming studio? Can the gaming studios, the studios and the big
I don't
the
see
big
why
box
not.
things, can they capitalize on the fact that we're going through a really horrible pandemic, or are they caught with their pants down? I think that, I mean, for me, my point of view, I think that goes back to that whole idea of what is your operational plan? Do you have something in place for this kind of thing? And if you don't, then as a studio, I think you need to kind of reevaluate a lot of things on the operational side. It's like, are you really ready to be a true business that's out there, a true studio that's out there to deal with all the many things that come across, or are you just so, oh, we're gonna make a game, we're gonna make a game?
Well, I mean, Cress, the reality is, he said that no, because I'd be playing MMOs or match type games, trying to listen to people bitch while playing, and then tune out games. And the argument is, obviously, a company that is familiar with remote work is going to realize that you're not doing your job because you're not hitting your numbers, you're not hitting your schedules and whatnot. So, I mean, that's a great thing about kind of in the game industry, much like my previous job. Um, it was schedule oriented. You just hit your goals. So as long as you were completing your projects on time, it didn't matter if I literally just stayed up for 24 hours straight to get the project done, or if I screwed off the next day, or if I worked my 8-hour blocks. So it's like, if you're getting your projects done, and that's really what video game design is around, is just hitting your goals, working on projects. For example, when I was at Mythic, got to put in this quest, got to have X amount of quests, got to have this done, this whole chapter done, 3 days, go. So if you're getting it done and you're hitting your objectives, then you're doing your job. If you're not, and you start doing that repeatedly, then you're not a good remote worker, and you're probably gonna get fired. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is some people can do it, some people can't. Remote work is its own beast. People need to learn how to strap down and do it.
So let me ask you this, Mouse. Does this pandemic give companies games like Star Citizen, Camelot Unchained, New World, all these ones that have yet to come out, does it give them license to delay longer? And should we be okay with a lengthier time given what we're going through right now?
I mean, it definitely gives them an opportunity for an excuse if they want to make one. And it's an excuse that it's hard to argue with because, again, like we've both been saying, if you're not prepped for it, if you're not prepped for a large staffing of remote workers, then things are going to slow down. And one of the problems you get with it's a company issue in many companies. It's why I like getting involved with startup companies. Startup companies are very future thinking, and so they're always like, even if we want you warming a desk, their thought process is, so what do we do if you're remote? What do we do this, blah 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 blah. What's more profitable for us? All these types of things. But a lot of established companies have this idea that you need to be warming a seat. I have worked too many jobs where I feel like I am wasting space just warming a seat, because sometimes there's not a lot of activity. Sometimes there's an endless amount of activity, but not all the time does it require someone to physically be there.
You can't turn a few weeks at home into 6 months of delay. Yes and no. I mean, if you've got people that are sick, if you've got people that just actively cannot work on things, sometimes when you're looking at a project, if I'm sick and I'm the only one that can do that particular point in code, that delays so many other things and can drag out the process. So 1 week of me missing whatever deadline it is that I'm working on delays then 2 months worth of stuff on this side. I mean, it truly is a giant cascade effect. Now, if you're working at home for a few weeks and everybody is fine and whatnot, then yes, 100% agree, Bobo. It should not turn into a 6-month thing. But we don't know, in these different studios, are people sick? Are we just working home out of precaution? We probably shouldn't even be told if these people are sick. It's really none of our business.
It's a HIPAA thing, yeah.
It's just one of those things that, yeah, there has to be some grace there. How much? That is a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually, you bring up a very interesting point. So my last job was to write software basically for construction companies. And you ever want to watch some of the most interesting interactions with like 12 companies trying to accomplish something, right? Because, we need this air conditioning system. Okay, well, we can't build this thing until the air conditioning system is bolted down. Well, that goes on back order for 2 weeks. Okay, well, then it puts building the building around it back 2 weeks, and everything changed. And then now we don't have that building. So now the other part of the building has to delay 2 weeks, and you end up with a huge chain of events when things aren't completed, and that's to be expected even in a game development when you're all sitting next to each other. You know, Bob is effing off in the corner and not doing his job, and we need items before we can put in the thing that tracks all the items. So now we're waiting for all of the items. So it's like, what's the holdup? Yeah. All those things can be very interconnected. And then when you don't have a good project manager, you end up like situations like Warhammer with the most fantastic idea ever, which was to ignore the guy working on items for a year and no one talking to him other than, so how are things going? Oh, it's going great. Okay. And then 3 months before launch, they finally found out that the guy had spent a year pretty much surfing the net and hadn't created anything, and no one was paying attention to him. And they pulled a bunch of people off of certain projects and invented an item system within like 2 months before launch.
He got paid.
And Bayogal laughs loudly because him and I were both enjoying the luxury of that project and watching that whole side of things burn and just like, oh God.
So, are we seeing? And I say we. Malice, you've got your community. I know my community has kind of beefed up through this, but have you noticed a bump in people playing? Is it just a lot of conjecture that we're going through, talking about, oh, we've got all this time to play? Have you actually noticed it within your community that people are on more, or is it still pretty much the same?
Well, right now, the same pretty much 10 people are in my channel.
You need to cap that channel. That's the most that can be in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
10 people.
It's a violation of something or another. But I think that it hasn't hit enough states yet. It's rolling out right now, but like we're talking a day or 2 days of experiencing this stuff. Like today, like all of our restaurants closed at 5:00. So we really haven't had that real feeling of quarantine around here yet. Give it a week. Yeah, we'll start seeing people having nothing else better to do, and so they'll be logging in and trying to find out anything they can do.
So what you're saying is, for the developers that are out there, there's still time to open up some betas or throw out some cookies or that kind of thing. Okay, yep. That's just
yeah, just throw it out there for anyone associated with a game company. All out there. I mean, naming no specific companies or their genres or what games they might be working on.
You didn't even have to say anything, friend. You didn't have to say anything at all. Cookies. Narth wants cookies.
I could use some cookies.
Too bad you can't. I mean, we went to the store the other day and I was looking for some flour because I was like, okay, I'm a baker at heart and I like to bake. There's no flour in the store.
Yeah, but you could buy cookies.
But I like to bake my own cookies.
Yeah, but there's tons of cookies in the store.
Maybe your store. I love how you hit your lip and you thought that was going to be cool. I'm going to be cool. Buy wheat and grind it. I'm not that crazy. You know, I looked at the gluten section too, which is literally just turn around in the aisle. Bare. Nothing there either. We use the flour to make toilet paper.
That's because you live in Colorado.
Hey, it's better than California. I mean, Colorado, we eat like crap because then we're out on a mountain getting rid of all the calories. If I lived in California, it's like kale, 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 kale. You know, maybe you can use kale as toilet paper. Hello.
Well, yeah. And if you eat a lot of kale, you don't need a lot of toilet paper. It makes things very efficient.
Oh, there's a good question. If we're all stuck at home and there's no food to be had, you can't go out and buy some. Are we about to see a slimmer generation of gamers come out of this? Maybe
Well,
not a
that's actually
generation, but
I'm actually kind of mad that my job is one of the few jobs in the food industry where they were like, "Oh no, you get to stay at work. You don't get laid off." And I was like, "No, no, 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 lay me off, because then I'll literally subsist on like chicken breast and rice and some vegetables, and then all of a sudden I'll like drop like 50 pounds." But no, they're like, "You gotta go to work," and I'm like, "God damn it, I gotta eat." Because I get free food at work, so it's like, oh yeah, this will be 1,000 calories. This will be 1,000 calories. Fuck it, whatever.
this is websites like thisiswhyimfat.com are still on thing. I have
Oh
2 weeks of food in the freezer to about another 2 months worth on my person.
as long as I can get water, we're good. I could probably do a good starvation diet for at least 2 months.
I don't know how good of a gamer you're going to be during those 2 months, but at least you won't have to get up to go to the bathroom all the time.
Well, the trick would really be at the core that once I get past about the week of massive headaches from not eating, I just go to ketosis and I just be rocking it. So
Bobo says, actually playing an MMO for me is a good way to eat less. It's true. If I'm really into an MMO, like I'll just play through a meal. I'll forget to do stuff. If I've got not a great MMO, something that's just entertaining, it's just kind of there, and I kind of have to, it's like
every game on the market right now.
you sit at your computer and you're like, gosh, what do I want to play tonight? I played that one last night. I don't really want to play that tonight. If I get on that one, I got to do that, and it's just, it's like every game that's on the market. Then I'm probably just going to sit there and lunch.
This is the number one empty calories that I consume. So
Skippy gave you crap that you had too much head on your beer, by the way.
Well, yeah, when I poured it, it's Guinness. That's why you let Guinness settle, and then I poured more beer on top of it.
Malice would be grumpy.
Yeah, it would be really hard to tell the difference because I pretty much just yell at people anyway.
A great MMO, I forget about food. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Albion. Malice likes to give himself.
Takes skill, especially with his gut. But I can get there.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, Mouse, I know you wanted to give kind of an update. We ragged so much at the last town hall a couple weeks ago on a specific service that a lot of our guilds use.
So I've been a really jerk, and it's not just that last event. It was I've been like kind of secretly slamming it, like me being a jerk and being like 7 years of development, and I was like, I have been bashing on Gilded ever since they decided to detach themselves from Discord, like the spawns of Satan that they became, and like there was this wonderful idea that they had, but it was dumb because it was like a Bender plan from Futurama. They were like, well, we're gonna be Discord, but we're gonna be like Discord, but with blackjack and hookers, and that's what they created. They literally created Discord with blackjack and hookers. But I do have. Apparently, he finds that hella amusing.
Now, what I find amusing is how that phrase, you are so proud of yourself for coming up with that phrase. I was like, okay, one, how's he going to work it into the stream tonight? Because he said this before we even started the stream. And two, how many times is he going to say blackjack and hookers in the stream? So sorry, I'm interrupting your soapbox.
Yeah, I'm like blackjack and hookers, like just my go-to. Like I don't know if I was proud of it. It's like pretty much like anytime anything's supposed to be an improvement of something else, but but has a bunch of additional features, that's exactly a Bender moment.
It's his go-to. So when his guild members can't find him, they just say, "Oh, he's out playing blackjack with a bunch of hookers."
So. But I am gonna say that Gilded has kind of figured out its blackjack and hooker side of things. And it really hasn't figured out how to be Discord, but it has figured out how to be blackjack and hookers. And I've actually turned it into because no matter how good Gilded could try to be, Discord has become ubiquitous to the market. It's like trying to overthrow Facebook at this point. G Plus had better features, better privacy, better sorting of information, all these things, but Facebook eventually drove them out of business because Facebook was first. Everybody's granny got on Facebook, and until granny dies, you're never gonna leave Facebook because she posts pictures of you when you were in a tub or some other random crap, like, and ruins your life on Facebook. Discord's the same way. It's moved because it's moved beyond gaming. It's become, in a way, damn, what's the hell's the name of that program? It's a chat program used in industry a lot now. It's a single word. Crap. Anyway, it's become
Slack?
this like Slack. That's it. Thank you.
It wasn't me.
Yep. No, I looked over. I'm like, oh, yep, it was brought up. It's much like Slack in the sense that it is become very central to companies that have nothing to do with gaming. Companies that are literally putting up Discord sites that are just for customer service, just for doing business and things that have nothing to do with anything. Whereas Gilded has become hyper focused on the idea of gaming.
They have a calendar. Sorry.
Right. It has all the features you want for gaming. If they would have stopped and not made a chat program in it and stayed integrated with Discord, there would be the most wonderful program ever made. But moving on past that, because I decided from a business standpoint not to do that, what they have is actually really solid. It does a really good job of pulling data from existing games so that everybody can know from game to game to game what your aliases are. It actually has all the services that you've ever wanted, like audit logs and calendars and forums and doc management.
Key bindings for voice things.
Key bindings for the important stuff for you Star Citizen people. It has broadcast, whisper, priority speaker, all these important tools that is frustrated me that Discord has still yet to decide that integrating something like a calendar would be a good idea. So Discord, you need to either step up your game for the gamer community and Gilded, you need to still work on your chat because the fact that every time I switch a channel, it takes 10 seconds for me to load into a channel is some bullshit, and you need to fucking fix that. But I've actually set up Gilded that has nothing to do with using the voice channels. It's just text. It's just doc management. It's just forums. It's just using those calendars and all that stuff for all the games. So it is now a go-to that allows you to sort out all the stuff by game and allows you to give permissions based on those games. Oh, another awesome thing that Gilded did, self-assigning permissions. Something that poor Zalen here has to run a bot to do on his Discord channel. They just have that. Yay! Good job. So it allows you to give permissions and see the information for the games you want to care about, and the games you don't care about. What do you want?
To be fair, I want people to put in the effort to claim a role for a specific game. If you're gonna join my Discord for my group and not be able to put in the effort to type in plus rank Camelot Unchained, I'm sorry. Why do you want to be here? You're obviously not going to contribute anything.
Well, the same thing has to apply here. You still have to go to roles and set yourself assigned roles. Um, but it's integrated. It's supposed to be there. It's supposed to added on by a bot.
Okay, so your issue is that I have to use an outside thing to get that done. Okay, I get it.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I'm not bashing on it per se. I'm just saying that, why isn't this something that Discord just has?
Skippy, you don't even get to talk. You don't even check Discord. So get it, go.
It's so much work. I hate games that tell my friends who I am. I don't want to be found. No,
Wants to be a
I mean,
loner.
yeah, no. And you don't have to put in that information. I mean, that's just if you want to just say, I play this game, I play this game, I play this game, this is the characters I play. I mean, I didn't bother to fill it out because the word is malice and that's the same in all the games. So like, why bother going through and telling you what's my name in that game? That works. I just want to play with friends. You want Well, and that's the thing is it's locked down. It's invite only, so you have to submit an application before you can get on there anyway. So it's not like it's going to be free information for random idiots. I did tell people though, like there is a certain level of information that Gilded seems to ask about your connection to a game that, while it's not password level, like it seems like there are certain games you really need to think about how much information you really want to give up because
Here's my API key.
Guild is, let's be clear, it's not going to be the grandest security in the world, and no one wants you to skim data off all that crap. So, but yep, that's my plug for Gilded tonight, which is funny because I've been basically bashing on them for the last good year. And it's glad to see that they're putting some of this stuff together. Now they just need to figure out how to actually do the chat because they want to be Discord. So, and they got some neat features, but yeah, they've got a ways to go yet. So, hey, I know no one here works for Gilded, but this is my soapbox. Put in light up icons for people that are in chat channels and things like that in certain games. Because it's really frustrating to go, oh, here's a list of all the games. And Bob is down in one game, sitting by himself in a room, and you'd like to go talk to that guy. Well, you don't know where he is. You don't want to click on every freaking game because I got freaking 15 games we have data and stuff like that for. I don't want to have to. Hey, no, you don't get to eat the chocolate cookie. Chocolate's bad for cats. My cat's stupid. What can I say? He's like, toxic food. I like toxic food. I mean, I guess I can't complain. I drink beer. That's technically poisoning yourself, right?
So one of the things we had talked about a while ago, at least on the town hall, was a giveaway. And those of you that are in chat, you'll see that you're getting channel points and that kind of stuff. We've had 2 people that redeemed a month ago, and we've not had a stream since where the 2 of them have been on at the same time. But tonight, we actually have both of them on. So Bobo and Skippy, I've got your names on pieces of paper, and I've got one in each hand. I have no idea which is which, and neither does Malice. So Malice, pick a hand. Close to the mic, away from the mic. That's your cat. And you're muted.
That's picking the side. The cat picked the side.
You want this one over here.
Yep.
All right. So we'll see who wins. And this is the thing that you get your channel points, you enter, and you win. I think I said like a $40 game on Steam. 1 item up to a $40 value on Steam for redeeming those points. So Skippy, Bobo, the winner is Skippy.
Skippy Bobo.
So Skippy, come chat with me later. We'll get you your prize. Again, one of the things you can redeem with those channel points is the monthly giveaway. So Skippy wins. Yay, Skippy.
Good job, Skippy.
Congrats, Skippy. Now go to hell. And yes, you can enter multiple times as long as you've got the points. Keep entering is fine.
I hope you die. I hope you die in a fire. Screw you.
The other thing I wanted to get people to start poking Malice on is we have floated the idea that actually got a lot more positive
literally a joke. It was
response
to a joke. It was not intended to be serious.
So Malice at one point put in the Smart Gamer Live Discord, hey, what if I did a stream or a video thing where it's just me ranting about something? And people went, oh my gosh, that would be awesome. So we've actually been working on it. If you really, really, truly want this to happen, poke him more, give him some crap, encourage him to do it. We just need to record it.
More subjects to rant about.
Yeah, give him topics that you know are going to be controversial for him that he can get on and just go nuts about. But just so you know, we are working on this. This will be a YouTube video, not a stream. It will come up on our YouTube channel. We haven't decided on frequency yet, but if you've got ideas, topics, things that you know Malice would be extremely opinionated on, or if you have a very
I'm going to become the new Francis.
He'll get on and just basically scream about something. We've got some other really cool things coming for Smart Gamer down the line. We've got some more people that are joining the Smart Gamer personality crew. You'll see some more streams, more videos, and even some podcasts coming out. So stay tuned for a lot of that information. We'll hit that up on our Discord.
And just so you know, I'm going to stick to gaming. I don't want to associate a channel with politics.
Oh yeah, no.
I may go do something off on my own about politics because I could rant all day about it. But
he could.
We're gonna definitely stick to gaming and out of politics. How about an episode on Linuxification? Actually, Linuxification does not bother me nearly as much as it bothers Zaylan. Zaylan could come and guest speak for a whole episode.
Only because I like to drink when you say it. So, you know, I'm not drinking tonight, but that's because I have a headache, and I don't usually drink when I have a headache. So,
I have a headache.
Bitch boy. All right, hold on here. Ready? All right, there. Now, Malice is muted, so he can talk and sit there and do all the stuff that he wants, and nobody can hear him. So, wait until we do de-Linuxification. Bogal, we got to get you onto this stream. All right, Malice, I'll unmute you, but we need to get you onto this stream to talk about stuff. You're unmuted, Malice, so speak and be heard.
Bogal, we definitely need you on here so we can talk about your plans for de-Linuxification. That is a word. If you wanted to do Linuxification, you need to make your code platform agnostic. Malice, I got a topic for you, but I will hit you up. All right, thanks, Wiper.
So that's all I had.
No, that's great. I got the COVID. Cookie went down the wrong tube. So other than that, put out our schedule for our Sunday show.
Yeah, so that the next time the Sunday show will hit, we've gone to once a month on that, unless people start yelling at me that they do want it more often. April 12 will be the next one. It'll be the second Sunday of every month. We will do the town hall. Again, unless I get a lot of people yelling at me that they want it more often, then we might go to, twice a month type of thing. But
and Swiper, are you wanting to advertise your show yet?
Oh, Malice, there was one more thing you wanted to do.
Was there? What did I want to do?
PC Master Race article about...
Oh, yes.
So you talk about that, and I'll put the post in.
All right. So we're going to post a link. This is how gamers, how all of you, can be involved in helping resolve the COVID-19 issue. Currently, there's a service out there that is asking people to donate a little bit of their GPU, especially if they're not currently gaming. You could turn it on or off through the app, and What they're doing is they're basically doing mass cloud networking through everybody's GPU to crunch numbers for data for COVID-19. Either that or they're just going to grind out Bitcoin and then they use it to pay for COVID-19 research. But however they're going to use it. But basically, they just need a lot of computing power to crunch a lot of the data that would help resolve a lot of these DNA strands and things like that to accelerate the processes of coming up with vaccines and all of that type of stuff. And so they have started this project. And so if you follow that link, they'll talk to you. You can read all about it and all the questions that have been related to it. And I hope that it's a really good idea. It's an easy way to donate to this cause just by giving some of your GPU. So please sign up for it. I would appreciate it.
Also, if you're going to do it, please sign up at your own risk.
We didn't write it, so
this isn't something that we can validate or tell you 100% sure is safe. So make sure that you read up on it and you're comfortable with it. Obviously, if it is safe enough for you, then it would be a really cool thing to do. But please don't do it just because Malice is telling you to go out and do it.
No, you should totally do it just because I told you to do it. Because most people are stupid.
Put your GPU to work folding proteins, whatever the bleep that is. Look at Whisper on Discord. All right, Bobo. I'll do that.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you all for coming out and watching the MMO Grind. We've been pretty much just blathering away today because it's St. Paddy's Day and alcohol and green is a great combination. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to go out tonight and party because the bars and restaurants are closed.
I was reminded that apparently Friday we're going to do a new stream with Bobo and Swiper.
All right.
We're going to call it the Into the Veil. It will be a CU focused stream. So you will see a lot of topic there. Swiper does videos on his YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, go to YouTube, just type in Swiper. He'll pop right up. And he kind of does he does a 5-point usually review on a lot of the stuff that CU comes out with and says, hey, these are updates. And he digs into them just a little bit more and kind of gives the top 5 and that kind of stuff. It's really, really pretty cool. What we're going to do with Into the Veil is we're going to take probably the top point or the top 2 points and just dive into it more. None of us work for CSE. This is all just our opinions on what they're putting out publicly. So none of the information that you get from us is going to be anything internal from them that no one has seen or ideas and stuff that they're doing that we don't know. No, this is just us.
Your imagination.
Talking our mouths off and kind of going through what we think about what they're putting out. So you'll see that on Friday. We'll put some information in Discord as to the specific time, but that will be a live stream, so come check it out.
Heck yeah. Well, again, thanks for all for coming, and you have a great night.